Alright gang, this is another whiteboard talk. I'm going to talk about conditioning. The way I look at conditioning in a very simplified manner is that there's three modalities. You got your aerobic, slow conditioning over here, which is I like to do with a lot of people, keeping a constant pace for long durations. This can either last 30 minutes to upwards of 90 minutes. I tend to do that with people who have high resting heart rate, try to create a more parasympathetic effect on the body to try to one, increase left ventricle eccentric hypertrophy, which allows more blood flow to be put into the ventricle so they can be pushed through the body, but also allow them to develop the aerobic system to help produce energy for long durations of work and things of that nature. Next is the threshold training. These are your long sprints. This is what people refer to as the suck. If you ever try to run an 800 or 400 meter sprint, you'll know what the suck is. It's maintain a high pace for long amounts of time. I usually use this for people who are doing a lot of events, such as I guess people who are doing fitness events or cycling or running events where they have to maintain a high pace for a long period of time. This kind of helps develop stamina. Usually you want to be around their anaerobic threshold, so they're kind of like on that edge of becoming anaerobic, and aerobic is right at the limit where the aerobic system is tapping out as much energy they can produce to maintain that output. And then the last variety is the short burst, high intensity. This is like maximum all-out effort for a short amount of time, maybe upward up to 20 seconds, and then you get a long rest recovery. So it'll be something like a 10 to 15 second sprint followed by a 45 to a minute rest. So it is a maximum all-out effort as hard as you can, but you get plenty of rest, either a 1:3 or 1:5 ratio, depending on what they're doing that day. I kind of mix in all these different modalities and things of that nature in terms of training. This way you can try to improve all three kind of in an undulating model and things of that nature. But depending on the person's goals and what they like to do, I may end up doing more aerobic and threshold training. I may not even go to high intensity, or they may do a lot of threshold training and short sprints, but that's all based on the assessment of the person. If I feel that they don't have a good aerobic base, I'm probably going to stay towards the aerobic end until I feel that base has been developed so they can do more threshold and high intensity stuff. It's okay, especially if a deconditioned athlete, to do a lot of aerobic long slow work, because the aerobic base is by far the most important, because without an aerobic base they're unable to do threshold training or the short burst intensity, because they have no way to help recover from those activities. And that's kind of like a very general way of looking at conditioning when I'm applying it to my clients and things of that nature. But I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll talk to y'all later.